What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Combat Sports Central. Today we're doing a betting look at Ottman Azaitar versus Matt Frevola. In the fight, it's a perfect -110 to -110 matchup. Again, what's in your bag? And knockout striker Ottman Azaitar takes on the always tough Matt Frevola. We'll take a look at their previous fights, line movements, and try to give you guys the best bet and keep you from a bad bet. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. 5'8" Ottman, who fights with a 71-inch reach, means that this fight won't have a significant height or reach advantage either way. The worry for Ottman, if there is any, and for the sportsbook to have this line basically as a 50-50 pick'em fight, would be his inexperience, especially towards the later rounds, in which Ottman has only been twice, and none of these have come in the UFC. This fear is clearly extended in the odds, and when you add a 2-year layoff, a more than 2-year layoff to a fighter, odds makers are going to be secure in where they line it up, and bettors are going to be weary about it. So nonetheless, we're going to take a look back at Ottman's fights. We see a lot of the same ridiculous power. His boxing is actually very good. In open space against Worthy, we see a lot of feints and explosive feints too. He knows his biggest strength is his opposition's knowledge and or fear of how much power Ottman Azaitar possesses. Once Ottman lands, it's time for him to go reckless on the back of an undefeated chin. The Worthy fight is over in basically a minute and a half. Worthy is one of those guys that is going to strike like Matt Frevola does, a little bit reckless, and Ottman puts him away rather quickly. A trend for Ottman's fights is his explosive flurries. When the fights get into the clinch, he flurries. When Ottman sees that his opponent is on the back foot, he'll flurry forward with big strikes. It's proven effective as so far. His career is undefeated, and he's got 8 wins via TKO or KO. Ottman's longest fights actually come from outside the UFC. In Brave CF against Alejandro Martinez, we see a little bit of the grappling. Martinez, who's 8-0 in his own right at the time, Ottman 9-0, had to revert to the grappling as Ottman's striking was a clear advantage once again, like all of his other fights. Ottman threw a lot of strikes in the first round, and he did look a little bit weird at the end of the first round, but coming out to the second round, he didn't look any more tired than his opponent. Ottman is a very, very dangerous guy. So let's switch over and have a look at his opponent, Matt Frevola. On paper, Matt Frevola stands at 5'9" and also has a 71-inch reach. Frevola isn't an undefeated fighter. He's suffered 3 defeats since entering the UFC. Frevola has never been a consistent favorite or underdog. He suffered his first loss in his UFC debut against Polo Reyes as a -230 favorite. Reyes came in a little bit taller, but we saw the style of Frevola here. A lot of the time, Frevola will engage and always come to fight. With his style, he's susceptible to being hit. Reyes was able to land a significant shot in the first 20 seconds, and by the first minute, both guys had landed shots, but Reyes was a little bit sharper, and we saw it when Frevola was dropped and ultimately put out. In Frevola's next fight, he fought the same style again, comes out the gates guns blazing, landed head kicks, straights, and more. Lando Venata, his opponent on the other hand, took all these shots very well, and he was the one to land the first knockdown on a failed takedown attempt. He had Frevola off balance and landed a beautiful head kick. One of the worrisome parts, especially in this fight for Frevola, is the addition to leaving himself exposed when he pursues more action-filled fights like he does on a regular basis. If you're looking to play the Frevola side, I'd caution you with the clear possibility that Ottman's power and the consistency for Frevola's opponents to drop him, it's a very scary note. The biggest unknown in this fight for me would be the Ottman layoff. And with that, I think that we're seeing a lot of the value on the Ottman side. I think Frevola could take this fight to the ground if Ottman takes an advantage on the feet. And with a striker like Ottman, I always worry a little bit about the takedown and control when the defensive fighter knows on the feet he won't have much success. But with that being my only concern, with Ottman being +100 on Coolbet, I'm more confident that Ottman could land a significant shot like a lot of Frevola's opponents again have and put this fight away. With that, I'm leaning Ottman either by TKO or knockout. And if this fight does indeed go to decision, I think that last round, if you're on the Ottman side, is going to be a little bit of sweat. But without further ado, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm going to try and bring you guys as many bet breakdown videos as I possibly can for the UFC 281 card, a huge card. But that'll do it for today's video, guys. CSC for life. See you in the next one.